Hey, this is Mead here. We're going to go through the process of doing a quick sketch. It's a little portrait, and it's done digitally with a simple pen brush. It's more or less a hard round pressure size brush that is turned into a little oval, and so it's nothing fancy at all. This is also a direct drawing process. There's not a lot of search or finding or preparatory under sketch layers, though that's kind of happening in my head. If I were having more trouble with this, I would probably do more of that prep and search. So this is kind of your two-stage method. One, you do a bunch of line work, and two, you put a bunch of value into it to reinforce the forms that you try to create. So placement of the features, the main thing for me is always going to be putting the eyes dead center of the head. Now this head is tilted back a little bit, so the eyes have to move up a little, and then you see less of the top of the head. So I'm just kind of planning on that being a little bit off center, a little bit asymmetrical. The head is also turned to the side slightly, so the center line moves over to the right. So what we're trying to do is reinforce that idea that the head is tilted and everything's a little bit asymmetrical. The other thing that we do is look for ways to find the corner, and the corner of the head is kind of on this close side, and we're using basically the hairline and the hair that drops down in front of the ear to do that. Um, Now, once the hair is kind of established with these wild shapes, then we can move on to kind of the second stage of finding where the shadows are. The light source is kind of coming from the front left, so that means that the shadows are going to be a little more subtle. So the corner on the far side is established by that little bit of shadow that's on the side of the face. And a lot of what we're going to do here is find the highlights within the hair and use marks that follow along the strands to reinforce those highlights. And that's kind of a tricky thing to do with hair that's as complex as this. It's sort of like if you're drawing curly hair, that could be pretty complex as well. Um, and then, of course, you don't want a floating head. You want to kind of ground it to something. So even a simple indication of a neck and shoulders is pretty necessary for something like this. And then going through and grounding that shape out and putting the shadow into the chin, I think is pretty necessary so that everything kind of connects and works together. I hope you like this video. We'll have more long form content coming soon. I appreciate your time as always, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody.